Good morning. It is November the 7th, and I am hiking the Cueva Trail. I hope that's how you pronounce it. I wonder if we'll see a cave here. It's in the Oregon Mountain Desert Peaks National Monument area in the Dripping Springs BLM part of it. I was here yesterday and did a hike up to Dripping Springs, and it was so lovely that I knew I just had to come back. But it is 30 miles from where I'm staying, but it was so worth it. So, nothing too exciting right this minute, except some cool mountains, rocks. Yeah, that's cool. After David grieved over Saul and Jonathan's death, he was still in Philistine country. So he inquired of the Lord and said, "Shall I go up to any of the cities of Judah?" God said, "Go up." David said, "To where shall I go up?" And he said, "To Hebron." It's a tiny detour. Let's see what this overlook is overlooking. Barrel cactus. Oh yeah, there's a canyon down there. Hebron is the city centrally located in the hill country of Judah, and David belongs to the tribe of Judah. So he took his 2 wives and all the men that were with him and his household, and he went and dwelt in the cities of Hebron. So Hebron seems to be not only a city, but a territory. At any rate, the men of Judah anointed David king over the house of Judah. And they also told David about the men of Jabesh Gilead burying Saul. David, of course, blessed those men. And as you will recall, Samuel had already anointed David as king, but that was done in private, and this is now public. Aha, there is a cave up here. This is no more a marked trail. It's a slab of stone. Oh my. They must not want any dust to get in the cave. Cool. There's the cave. You have to duck a bit. I'm so grateful I'm the only one here right now.
Are you a wanderer at heart? Would you like to travel all over America for the rest of your life in solitude and with only a few choice possessions? Giovanni Maria de Agostini, or the Hermit, spent almost 40 years of his life traveling. He pursued the life of asceticism, the spiritual practice of abstaining from all worldly comforts. He left Italy, his birthplace, to travel in Europe for a few years. Then he set sail for South America and never returned. The hermit traveled from country to country throughout the Americas, settling in the mountains where he gained a following seeking his spiritual teachings. He even wandered all the way up to Canada, though the cold winter and lack of interest in his teachings cut his stay short. He eventually arrived here in La Cueva. His new friends in Mesquite, New Mexico, were concerned for his safety after he related to them a recent attempt on his life. So he said, "I shall make a fire in front of my cave every Friday evening while I live. If the fire fails to appear, it will be because I have perished. I shall bless you daily in my prayers." Then one Friday night on April 1869, the fire did not appear. He had been murdered, and no one found the culprits. His wandering had finally ended at the age of 68.
Now the plot thickens. Abner, who was Saul's cousin and commander-in-chief of Saul's army, took Saul's last and youngest son Ishbosheth and made him king over Israel. Abner had been with Saul in the pursuit of David, and he was not now willing to let the man he had so long hunted succeed in the kingdom over which Saul had reigned. Abner never forgot the rebuke David gave him for sleeping on guard. He was proud, vengeful, and ambitious, determined to have his own way rather than allow David to rule as the anointed of the Lord. Anyway, now Abner and Joel, David's chief guy, met by the pool of Gibeon, and they had a duel. There were 12 from each side. They each one grasped the head of his opponent, and they thrust their sword into each other's side so that they fell down together. And the place was called the Field of Sharp Swords. You see, sometimes representatives from the two opposing armies will fight before the battle. But none of the representative young men prevailed over his opponent. And so the outcome was indecisive, and a full-scale battle follows. Joab had two brothers also fighting, and one was named Asahel. This guy went specifically in pursuit of Abner. He was swift as a gazelle. When Abner looked behind him, he recognized it was Asahel and encouraged him not to pursue him since he was Joab's brother. But Asahel kept on. He refused to turn aside, so Abner struck him in the stomach with the blunt end of the spear so that the spear came out his bag. He fell down and died on the spot. However, Abner suffers more losses than Joab, so he proposes an end to the hostilities. So Joab blows a trumpet, and all the people stood still and did not fight anymore. The death count was 20 men from David's side and 360 men from Abner's side. See, I made a round-trip loop of it doing the Crawford Trail connecting back to the visitor center. Then they took up Asahel and buried him in his father's tomb, which was in Bethlehem. And Joab and his men traveled all night and arrived at Hebron at daybreak. The Healing Hiker gives this Las Cruces loop trail a 3.5 out of 5. It was okay. I enjoyed it. War is so brutal, isn't it? All because one man has pride issues. Can we look back on our own history and see similar men with egos? Oh, that people would follow God, then we all could have peace.